Okay, for you guys keeping score at home, I'm going to start with box number 2 from the Helmbold collection.
Say, kids, what time is it?
It's 8-bit doodads time!
Alright, first up is an empty case, which is identical to this case that is populated. The ribbon cable. And with this connection, and a wire comes out of that. It is a Centronics parallel printer interface with graphics for the VIC-20 and C64 computers. Next up is this card. Got a switch that I may or may not be jammed. That switch works. I'm guessing memory expansion. Yep. Even says RAM card right there. That's all that's written on it. It looks like it was modified. I'm not quite sure what the switch. It may have been modified to only turn on half of the RAM at one point. I can't rightly tell. I can't tell for sure. But once we get a VIC-20 up and running, we'll be able to check this stuff out. Okay, here it is. It says DSI on it. I'm not sure what that is, but it's probably printer related as well. These are hooked to it. This cable did have a wire coming out of it, but it's been cut off right there. Not as much stuff in box number 2, but some neat stuff anyway. Here's another card with a couple of EPROMs. No idea, no printing or markings on it. It'll be fun to, it's got a little tactile switch there, maybe a reset. Okay, here's another card. Judging from the cable, it's something to do with the printer again. And this cable runs off. Has the same type of end with the individual wire coming out of it. This had been modified to add that wire. So I've never been a big printer fan. I mean, I know I use printers. But with these vintage computers, I never ever really got into them. Okay, this is the last of the items, just some various cables. That's an RF modulator, probably. Yep. So there's a neat little assortment of various things. Okay, we got this little block of some sort. I'm wondering if it's a Terminator. Okay. So that was box number 2. I'm not going to move on to a box yet, but here is the Super Drive. Dual floppy. Super disk drive. Microsystems Development Incorporated. Model SD2. Power switch. All your other standard things. It says it's a sweeping program, low density 4040 format. And some sweeping data, low density 4040 format. The discs look to be clean as a whistle. So the collection has been stored in a decent spot, nearest I can tell. All right. Okay, let's get a look at box number 3. This is probably one of the smaller of the boxes. Looks like we've got a very good assortment of some video cables, as well as floppy drive cables, power cable. The only hardware in this box is a Commodore 128 power supply. And a 1571 disk drive. So that is box number 3. Okay, let's get a look at box number 4. I see a VIC 20. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's the old style keyboard. That is the PET style keyboard, which would mean that it's got a 5-pin there and probably a 2-pin power socket. Yep. How about that? Very nice. Very nice. That I'm going to assume was its matching buddy, the VIC 1541 floppy drive. Okay. Nice, very nice surprise with this old VIC 20 in there. That'll make a good item. Okay, let's move on to another box. Okay, here is box number 5. There's 3 boxes after this one. Ooh, I see a 128. It looks like to me. It is a 128. And another 128. So there's 2 128s in here. I should be able to easily get a working one for him. That's got a oddball key on it. 2 1/28. I don't know who's keeping score or what all we got. Box number 6. Well, we have the Commodore 64 with a reset switch added to it. Very good. All the keys are there, that's a plus. The Commodore 64 power supply, I'm going to leave that right there. And another drive. Another 1541. Ah, with a selector. That switch no longer works, but it says 10 on it, so they probably had it to be able selectable from 8 to 10. Okay. Two more boxes to look at. Okay, I have, box number 7. I see parts of computers. Base to a 64. Got everything but the SID. Well, okay. There's a keyboard. Okay, well, there's another main board. Missing the PLA and the SID. It's got the VIC though, so did that first one. Keyboard. Another base without a board. Hope we get some more boards. Here's a keyboard with a whole bunch of screws in it. This is interesting. Okay. There's a board all by itself without a base. Same thing. Well, now we're missing a CIA over here too. So this will be interesting. Fortunately, we can get along without the SID, and the PLA is very easy to redo. I see a pin stuck in that thing already. This is the last board. It's got the SID, no. It's missing a bunch of chips. That's alright, we can test them out with chips that we have, get them working, and then pull the chips back out and pass them along to somebody who might have spare chips for them all. There's another keyboard. Well, this is an interesting bunch of stuff. Got some complete units. So, I think I said in the first video that I was hoping that all those spare chips and stuff that he had aren't his dead parts bin. But we will go through all the stuff and we'll do what we can. Oh, last one. They don't have a screw. But regardless of their actual origin story, I am very happy to make as much good use out of them as possible. One more box to go. Okay, we are about to open our last box. Boy, what is this? Another old death brick from a 64. And I recognize some parts here. Here's that brick. I'm guessing somebody thought they were going to rebuild it. They opened it up and found that. What are you? Oh. Okay, here is an attempt at... Okay, these are glued together. It's an old death brick. And something else. They've tied some wires together. I'm not even going to mess with that. However, there is one cable in here that I hope works. Just needs a little cleaning. That's the keyboard for this SX64. That's the keyboard cable. Okay, that looks good. Here's one of the panels. And that's the only thing in there. Okay. Well, it's an SX64. There's a few parts of it. Looks like a repair was attempted. It looks complete. I feel all the chips there. I hope whatever the problem is, it's not with the monitor and that circuit there. I'm going to leave that just like that for now. That certainly was an interesting find. I might have to plug this in and see what kind of voltages come off of it. Very interesting. Well, that's it. That's box number 8 plus a disk drive. But I have no idea what I'm going to tackle first. I might do a quick look at all the 64 boards that are in there, just because I know my way around them a lot better, and I can just do one episode running through, swapping the chips real quick, testing voltages and coming up with a plan with them, and then I can just move them aside until a later time. Then I'll probably tackle the VIC-20 in there. See if it works. I'm thinking that it needs repaired, and I have another one that needs repaired, and I have one that works, so I have something to go off of in doing all that. Let me know in the comments what you think I should attack first, because it's not going to be this. I am now very thankful that Raven Wolf just put up a very, very multi-part detailed disassembly and reassembly of this machine. Thank you, Raven Wolf. I'll leave some links to that if you want to check it out. Go to his site. He's got some great stuff he does.